Welcome to another episode of Bays Boys, 90, 37 seconds information you can never use. Joe Skelly, co-host, and lover, father, happy guy.
I try to be.
Some other shit. Tell me a story, Joe Skelly.
So, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on Amazon.
It's not good.
No, they're good. They're super good. The one I watched was called Unacknowledged, and the other one I was watching was called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Are these alien ones you've been speaking about?
Yeah. Some of these are alien ones. And they were talking about, in particular, how the world governments do know that aliens and UFOs have been around. They've been keeping it a secret. They did think the American populace could handle it. All kinds of different things.
So we're on... All they've done is acknowledge a conspiracy theory that we all thought was there anyways. We haven't seen any aliens yet. They haven't...
Right. So
the government hasn't officially said, hey, here's ET's ass.
They did. Well, no, they didn't show you a picture of ET, but they officially acknowledged the existence of UFOs when the
Which doesn't mean shit because, I mean, they said, other things.
Well, the Department of Defense released those... gun sight cameras from those F-18s, a year or two ago. Where there were 5 of them, and they're following them at top speed, and these things are doing maneuvers that modern airplanes and aircraft can't do. And they're like, yes, these are unidentified flying objects. We have an organization within the government that's assessing the threat of these things in our airspace, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but they've actually declassified thousands and thousands of documents about all the projects that they've had previously about UFOs.
So they did declassify stuff and start sharing it.
Yes, but they're doing it there's a couple of thoughts on this, right? They're doing it because sometime in the near future, there will be full disclosure, right? That we've been visited for a long period of time.
JFK.
Right.
Fucking, we're still waiting on that one. I'm just saying.
Right. And then, or the other hypothesis is what they've been doing is they've been programming us for years via media in movies.
So you don't get upset about it when they drop it.
No, the opposite.
Because I heard that theory too.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. But the other part of it is that they want to create a panic. Right? Think about Independence Days and all these movies with aliens, and aliens are super aggressive and they want to kill humanity so that the military industrialized complex can help formulate a worldwide battle plan against aliens.
And then we'll all be friends and we won't fight over religion?
Yes.
I mean, that's the best part of those movies.
Right, that is the best
Everyone's
part.
Everyone's like, what? We were killing each other? We're done now because ET's coming to wreck us.
Right, but here's the question I have for you. If these creatures are spacefaring, it means they could travel at greater than the speed of light and travel from distant galaxies to our planet. That would mean that technologically they're, 1,000 years more advanced than we are, right?
Without a doubt.
So hypothetically, if they wanted to do us harm, they would have done so already. I mean,
maybe
that's
they're
just
afraid of our rifles.
Maybe, perhaps. The black rifle is a scary thing. But then somebody brought to my attention, have you heard of the Fermi Paradox?
Negative.
Fermi Paradox is interesting, right? It's saying statistically, if you're just using numbers, right, with all the known planets, all the known M-class planets that are out in this galaxy, in this universe of ours, right?
Right.
In the multiverse, whatever you want to call it, it would be statistically impossible to say that we're the only existing life in the universe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's like saying, it's like when people say, these fishes are extinct, but you haven't uncovered the entire ocean. It's
And then it turns out you find one 20 years later.
Right. And they're like, oh, wait, well, we thought this guy was gone. Because I see fucking shit like that all the time. They're like, oh, we found this new fish. And I'm like, I don't think he's new. I think he's new to you.
New to you, right. So, but here's the backside of this Fermi Paradox thing. It says, it's statistically impossible for there not to be other life out in the universe. However, it also says statistically that what we recognize as sentient or self-aware or intelligent life forms is probably super rare.
Wait,
because it would
explain it. I'm lost.
Okay.
So They believe...
Based on the number of planets out there that could host life. Right. It says that finding intelligent life would be super rare because we might not recognize it as intelligent life.
So you're saying that we could be so fucking stupid and dense that we're just too stupid to know that they're smart.
Yes.
That also makes sense.
Right. I mean, we're assuming that other life forms out there would be carbon-based like ours, right? And require light and oxygen.
So on that right there, I've wondered this myself because Daddy Elon supposedly sends rockets up and cameras to look for, what is the big one? It's carbon, whatever, water, like water, right? They're like, oh, we're looking for water, then we'll know there's life. And I'm like, what if he doesn't need to drink water?
There's life that doesn't require water and actually lives in acid.
Oh, that's gross. That's gross. Is that on Earth?
Yeah, that's on Earth.
That's not good.
And on some, yeah.
I have enough trouble figuring out with those dinosaurs and birds and all these other things they find that, no, I'm good on that.
I mean, I also know somebody who's an astrophysicist who told me that sometime within his lifespan, we will know for a fact that life exists on foreign planets or other planets, because what they're going to do is send a giant telescope out into space, which is more powerful than the Hubble telescope.
Right.
And what it's looking
pretty
for,
powerful.
What it's looking for on these other planets is artificial light.
Yeah, that's a new one to me. I think we talked about this. You're probably one of the first people that I heard that from.
Which was a really interesting idea to me because
it is.
Listen, he goes, look.
My rebuttal is what happens when you find Vin Diesel with glowy eyes.
Who doesn't need light. Again, we're also assuming that they're like us.
And need light.
Not like Riddick.
I'm trying to get me some Riddick eyes.
Right, that would be sweet.
Yeah, but...
How do you get that?
I heard you gotta get yourself thrown into a deep, dirty prison and pay a guy a bunch of Newports and all this other shit, but it didn't work for that girl, so I'm not down for that life.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
That whole thing didn't make any sense.
Plus,
he's Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
F is for family, and we drive fast.
Right.
So, again, he probably just went so fast in his cool car that his eyes turned that way. That's my theory. It's not scientific, but...
There's zero science in that, but I can appreciate that.
Movie...
That's also that's also way different than the sheriff we know, who doesn't move very fast at all. So I would guess that he would never get glowy eyes to see in the dark.
He used to run like... Fuck. Why are we on this again? Here, have you ever seen him run? It's like his arms, like his elbows. So his arms below his elbows are the only thing that moves when he runs.
Like a T-Rex. Yeah. So he runs like T-Rex.
Very sexy Italian-looking T-Rex, apparently from the 80s. Wait, so that is a theory. Like, I heard runners, actual real people that do run. I don't run anywhere, but they said that your legs move as fast as your arms, which I understand. He figured out a certain way to move with just the below the elbow. So he's got little propellers going while he's running, right? And then that fucking dude, that gang of dudes stops him in the middle of his running. He's so fast, but he didn't catch the bad guy. But then that gang stops him and he's like, hey, motherfucker, you owe me money. And he just punches this dude in the chest and then walks away. He doesn't run. He's not scared.
He's far, but that's not Riddick-esque in any way.
No, Riddick never runs.
No, he doesn't need to.
Riddick just sits in the dark and fucking...
Like a creeper.
Yeah, does weird shit.
He's a total creeper.
I love Vin Diesel, though. Like, legit. Like, I heard he used to be a bouncer for real, like in New York.
Okay.
If you could bounce in New York, you could kind of bounce almost anywhere.
Like on another planet in the dark.
I don't know why we're talking about this, but we're going to get back to the aliens. But why do I know so many movies? You know the movie Knockaround Guys where he does the Italian bad guy thing?
Yeah.
And he plays just the thug?
Yes.
So the line where he's like 500 fights. That's how many fights I thought as a kid I had to get into to be a hard ass. So that's a real thought from him in real life. When he was a little kid, he was like, yeah, I have to fight this many times to be tough. That's like a realistic thing. I think there's a bunch of kids running around thinking that. Like, if you fight enough, it's going to... And it does work. If you want to go out and get your ass beat.
Unless you get beat up 500 times and then you're no tougher than you were before. You just got beat up 500 times.
I don't know, man. That's... I mean,
you would think somebody
you're just
would
an
learn.
MMA artist then.
Yeah. So I mean,
you're a UFC fighter. You're ready. Dana, right. You call Vin Diesel. He's ready.
He's ready because he did 500 fights.
And the sheriff, he taught some UFC guys.
To what? Block 3 moves?
Yes. He taught him, I don't know.
The three move block
he
combo?
taught him how to do Ikkyo Nikyo so they could get handcuffed.
Okay,
right in the
fair
middle
enough.
of the UFC fight. He's like, hand me the handcuffs, Dana.
Is
that how you say his name, by the way? Dana?
Yeah.
Dana
I
White?
think
Yeah.
I think the sheriff is super successful in arresting people.
Fuck.
And it doesn't come down to skill, it comes down to mass. Right?
Yeah, he's a big motherfucker.
Like, he just lays on people.
Ooh.
And you're not getting you're not getting him off. He just lays on people.
All right. So back to the aliens.
Yes, back to the aliens.
Tom DeLonge is fucking stoked.
By the way, he was in the documentary
Because
I just watched.
you know what he's doing, right?
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about this, right? Or did
Yeah.
we talk about it, or did you already know?
No, we talked about this.
Homeboy runs his quit Blink-182 to go run a space exploration we prove aliens are real company.
That's awesome.
That's fucking wild.
Right, he quit a super successful band.
Right. It's like the guitarist from Korn who quit because he found God. What does that have to do with playing guitar? I'm just joking. I get it. You found God. You know, Korn is a devil's band. You know, because you guys got dreadlocks and you're wearing Adidas, and fucking Jonathan Davis is fucking smelly, and I get it. But who quits Blink-182 to go find aliens?
A wackadoodle with a lot of money.
I don't want to.
And listen, I'm not going to call him a wackadoodle because I think that's a great endeavor.
No, yeah.
I think if you can prove the existence of sentient life from other planets, you can help advance humanity.
We're on so many references here. We're going to give a shout out to the biggest podcaster right now, Joe Rogan, because he had not only Tom, but Travis on there. You know, you see that you listen to, I don't listen to podcasts. In fact, I don't really fucking care for podcasts. I've listened to a couple of Joe's because I was bored at work when I was stalking at night in the middle of the night. And he had Travis on. Travis is the drummer, right? So he had Travis on, and Travis was like, yo, do you know that every time we pull in, instead of like going to do drugs or going to bang bitches or instead of going to hang out and party, Tom is like, hey man, let's go look for Bigfoot.
I also applaud that.
Right. Like things, I mean, first of all, like Blink-182 is part of my life. Like I'm like, it's skater punk. I grew up in skater community.
Right.
I remember the girl who handed me the Blink-182 album, and I remember where we were sitting in her fucking dad's car, and she was like, you need to listen to this. And I was like, I don't think I will. It's got a cow on it with a printing on his ass. I'm not into that. But it's fucking crazy that you watch these skater punk looking motherfuckers and dudes like been chasing Bigfoot when we're not looking.
That's awesome.
That is wild.
That is totally wild.
I still can't get over that. And I've been thinking about this for a couple of years now. So he's in the documentary.
He's in the documentary. But another good documentary to watch is Unacknowledged.
Yeah.
All right. And the other one is Above Majestic.
All right. So there's your list, people. Go watch these documentaries.
And then, you know, if you're an expert in this field, get back to us. Hit us up.
Send us an email to our email. We'll put it on the thing later.
Yeah.
So
what I really want to talk about today is a true American hero.
Tom DeLonge and his space exploration?
No.
Who?
Johnny Weir.
Who's that?
You don't know who Johnny Weir is?
No.
Johnny Weir, the figure skater who does all the commentator stuff on the Winter Olympics in ice skating?
I've never watched an Olympic event.
Dude, you need to look up Johnny Weir right now. Look at his pictures.
All right.
Johnny Weir is a true American hero.
Is he Canadian?
No, he's an American.
It seems like all of our heroes are Canadian these days.
Not with this guy. Not with this guy.
Jim Carrey.
Listen.
The Weeknd.
Him and Tara Lipinski, both former medalists, both former ice skating phenoms, do the commentating on the Winter Olympics. And I will tell you this, Johnny Weir.
Oh, my boy's got a ducktail and everything. Look at this haircut.
Dude, Johnny Weir.
Boy just became my favorite Olympic skater.
Dude, Johnny Weir.
Look at that hair.
Johnny Weir, hands down, is amazing. Because when he does his commentating, when he does his commentating, he pulls no punches. Like all these people are like, "Oh, that was beautiful. That was amazing, Johnny. What did you think?" "I think she looked like a cow." Like this dude pulls no punches, bro. Pulls no punches.
So this is literally Chris Rock's character from Multipass.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like running around with the leopard skin, the hair. Look at this boy's dress. Like, I like this guy a lot. Oh, look, he got that shirt from Steven. Look at that. Yeah. That's dude, gold inlaid over black. Oh,
Johnny
that's beautiful.
Is amazing. Listen, I think the other part of this is I think he would get liquored up and do his commentating.
I think he'd get liquored up and try to tattoo your face.
Oh, he would do that too.
Yeah.
But like this guy pulls no punches and he dogs everybody. And at one point in time, a couple years back during the Winter Olympics, they wouldn't let him do commentating at night because he was so out of control. Like he would do.
Was drunk.
Listen.
Boy
he would
was drunk.
Just straight drunk, right? He would do the daytime commentating and the nighttime.
Oh no.
And then they banned him from the night and they would only let him do it during the day because he was so wild.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So wild.
That's fucked up.
So
Johnny Weir's a hero.
Here's the best part. We think he's America's secret weapon against the other nations during the Winter Olympics.
Him and Pee-wee?
No, him and Tara Lipinski.
Which one's Tara Lipinski?
Tara Lipinski is his co-host because the two of them are together,
right?
Are insane, right? So what happens is Johnny Weir in the Olympic Village at night, in particular, would go over to the Russians, be banging on their doors at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Get up, bitches! Let's drink Cosmos! And they keep them up all night, getting liquored up, and hanging out with Johnny Psycho Switchblade Weir.
That's the best,
dude. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make shirts. I'm gonna make shirts.
I'm gonna get his face tattooed on me,
dude. He's wild.
He's
wild. Great American hero. If you've never watched Johnny Weir before doing his commentating, you can find it on YouTube.
Watching that,
they're out of control because he does not pull punches. And I'm telling you, he's America's greatest secret weapon. Like he's keeping up all those other countries' athletes all night long partying, and they're going out there and they're dragging ass on the ice. And then he's like, she sucks. Oh, her costume is terrible.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
You've just given away the secrets. We can't air this. Call Steven. He needs to go.
Call Steven. He'll be the bodyguard.
Fuck.
You think the Olympic Committee?
No, I meant you need to go. You just gave away all of our secrets. We're fucked. You fucked us. Now, in 4 years...
Or did I? Did I just make this all up?
Well, nobody's going to want to hang out with Weir now.
Bro, I would hang out with Johnny Weir tomorrow.
I just want to point out that we all know what Johnny Weir's school name was.
What?
I can't say it. It's against the community guidelines.
All right, so we won't.
But list Johnny Weir, right?
He's a psycho, bro.
Well, yeah, look what they called him. They called him Johnny Queer the whole time growing up.
Nah, but you know what? He's capitalized on that, and he's making a fortune, and good for him.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
I like him already, and I haven't even watched his shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm making up a nickname for him.
You can't have
Johnny
a pompadour.
Psycho Switchblade Weir.
Yeah, I heard. That's, I'm going to need...
I bet he carries the stiletto. I bet he'd cut your ass.
Not if I get him with my stiletto first.
You think you're gonna get over on Johnny Weir?
I wouldn't drink around him.
No, you better not. Bro.
I wouldn't drink anything but bottled water that I broke the seal on myself. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you.
That boy's. Look at his. I seen the picture right here. It looks like he's screaming at somebody on the ice right there. So,
bro, my man is out of control.
Do we think he's an alien?
No.
Was he on the show?
Not at all. He wasn't on the show at all.
How did we end up over here? We're supposed to be talking about aliens. Is he an alien?
No.
I figured I'd ask twice to get you to slip.
No.
You part of the MIB, bro?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. But if you want to go back to aliens, we can go back to aliens. No. But I'm just really...
Tell me more about Johnny Weir.
I'm really upset that I haven't had the opportunity this Winter Olympics to watch him. But I did see some of the costuming he was wearing while broadcasting. Like, he had them do his hair like panda bear ears.
Fuck. Yeah, I just saw that picture, actually.
Yes.
That actually looks good.
Yes.
My guy can pull a pomp, though. Oh, this is it right here. Is this it?
Yes.
Those are the Princess Leia buns. Almost.
No, that's not the Princess Leia buns because they're not on the side of his head. They're on the top of his head.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah, my man's out of control, and Tara, that's his girl, and the two of them just like dog each other during the broadcast, and then they just tear people up.
I don't know what you could say about him.
Other than he's an American hero.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hands down, true American hero. And if you don't believe me, watch him and watch how he's brutal. He pulls no punches in his commentating. these other people are like, oh, that was so graceful. And look at their costuming. It's amazing. And Johnny Weir's like, her costume looks like she found it in the trash.
Is this chick an ex-skater too?
Yes.
Tara
Yes.
Lipinski?
Tara Lipinski, yeah.
Who'd she skate for?
United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both American skaters.
Here's a picture of him in shorts with, what are these shoes called right here? I know there's a name for them. They're like old school 50s, whatever.
Oh,
something.
wingtips?
Wingtips, that's
Wingtips. Black and white wingtips.
Boy's wearing wingtips with high shorts. He's got a frilly shirt out the back with a glitter jacket. My guy's got swag.
My man's a fashionista, bro. Cutting edge of fashion.
Oh my.
And loves his American skaters.
He looked like he gets scrappy too.
Look, that's
that's purely mental. This is a fight in the dog scenario here.
You better believe that.
Yeah.
You better believe that. That dog has a lot of fight in it. You don't got,
look at that. That's a whole head full of roses right there.
Let me tell you something. If I had to be in the bar back-to-back fist fighting with somebody, it'd be Johnny. It'd be Johnny, because I think he would bring the thunder.
If nothing else, he'd bust a skate out and cut your ass with it. He'd bring the stiletto, like you said.
He would bring the thunder, bro.
Right.
He would bring the thunder. But, if you have the opportunity, check him out. Johnny Weir. You're missing out if you don't know who this is.
Johnny Weird would be a mean name to say, too.
Yeah, that would be mean.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disrespect that dude because he has enough money.
I'm just saying
he might come find you, bro.
His name rhymes with enough things to go sideways.
And I'm sure that people have said that.
He dealt with it, right.
And I'm sure he's rumbled with the best.
Or somebody. Snow Patrol.
On the ski slopes,
I just imagine
Snow Patrol's ass.
So he's a fucking skater, or he's an ice skater, so he snowboards probably. That's all I'm saying. It's got to be a thing. I figure people that enjoy the snow and the cold ice enjoy other snow activities.
So you're saying during the Winter Olympics when they're doing downhill skiing, he'll be stumbling up the slope and Snow Patrol will be like, sir, you can't be on the slope, so all the skiers are coming down.
Exactly.
And what would he be like? Fuck you, bitch. And then he'd just get to scrapping.
Exactly.
And they'd send he's got 9 ski patrol dudes out to take him down.
Fucking snow gear, and all of it's bright and to begin with, but he's got brighter snow gear.
Oh, right.
And then badass not vintage, but signature Oakley glasses. I gotta look that up.
Oh, I bet he does.
He's got to have some sort of signature.
Oh, I bet he's got signature something.
Signature makeup, maybe. He looks like he'd wear makeup a little bit.
Yep.
Is he a good skater?
Yes. He was an incredible skater. Yeah, he's a
Did he ever take gold?
I believe he has.
Ooh. I could look that up and be
find out
well,
how many...
I could be productive, but then our listeners wouldn't be able to go look him up and be surprised.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Fair enough.
Look up Johnny Weir, go find out his medals. You want to see what he got for you for America while he was fighting Snow Patrol?
Fighting the Russians. You know he has a handler, right? He has a handler. If they wouldn't allow him to do nighttime commentating, he has a handler.
Okay, so on that note, I have a theory about sports people in general.
Okay.
And I was recently confirmed by Joe Skelly I think it had to have been you because of some crazy shit that I heard. But so I have an idea that the CIA outsources through rock stars. Because think about it. Now, they're not going to use the rock star or said musician for anything important, but if I was a honeypot, brown bear, and I was coming through to finagle connections, right? I come up to you, I say, hey, you're going to tour through Lithuania. Would you mind taking this gentleman here as your roadie? And then that's it.
Oh,
and then said roadie disappears the whole fucking night, never does any work.
There's no doubt in my mind.
If he's really good, he fucking does some work, so he gets some pictures with people, and he's in the pictures, and then he disappears for the night to break into whoever's fucking house and steal whatever the fuck they need. I'm just saying it'd be an easy way to do it, to blend in with a star, right?
Right. I mean, I've heard crazy stories. I heard a story one time that U.S. assets broke into a Soviet embassy, right?
They said assets, but they meant kiss.
Yes, they meant kiss, right? American assets broke into a Soviet embassy. Now, mind you, this is
Gene Simmons licked his way in.
This is during the Cold War, right?
Oh.
And they were dressed up as workers. Like they were going into the embassy to do repair work or something like that.
Normal.
Right. So anyway, something happened, and the rug in the office of the embassy got soaked in like blood.
Oh.
Right. So these guys took the person, rolled him up in the carpet, pulled him out of the embassy, took it to a rug cleaner's, brought the rug back to the embassy.
What?
Put it back in place, made a hole in the ceiling, and then repaired the hole and painted it so it was wet, and claimed that a pipe burst in the ceiling, and that's why the carpet was still wet. True operation. That's skills.
Steven was there.
Was he?
I don't know, but Vin Diesel was probably
Or was
driving.
it Kiss?
Yeah, Gene Simmons licked his way in. He licked the rug wet. Fuck. I don't even know what's happening on this podcast. We're already sideways. We started with aliens. We moved on to Weir and his beautiful hair.
Right.
That boy can pull a pump.
Bro.
I'm jealous.
It's super impressive.
Right.
Super impressive.
I've got Asian-y straight hair too. I should be able to do something, but it don't work. And that boy can pull a pump.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is super impressive.
Mad respect for the hair. Soda Pop would be fucking, be on it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So once again, your list as a listener for documentaries to watch: Unacknowledged, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, Above Majestic.
All right, let's circle back. Was there another one? Was that it?
No, those are the three that you should be checking out.
Let's circle back. So Blink-182, All the Small Things, is in this documentary. Tell me about his part at least, because I don't feel like scrolling through to find it. I will. I'm going to. But
well, they keep mentioning him and then the different boards that he sits on and the different organizations he's part of.
Right. And now he's got contacts with the CIA.
To do UFO research.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My guy's hooked up with a bunch of people that used to work for fucking NASA, that worked in the CIA, that worked for the government.
And here's the crazy thing. The guy that's doing these documentaries used to be one of those people. And he's essentially being a whistleblower.
So, Tom, first of all, probably like sponsored this a little bit, right?
He probably threw some bread into that.
Yeah. Gives him a free deck.
Right.
Tom, send me a deck, bro. Not because I'm into aliens. It's just because your music's so great. We're down for that. Shout out to the alien boy.
Big shout out.
Oh my God, what's happening?
And Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I love Vinny.
I know you do.
500 fights. I don't think I'm even at 500, and I did the same thing. I mean, I'm not, I did get beat up like 500 times, I'm saying, but...
So you could be an MMA fighter right now?
Man, fuck no. I could be an MMA punching bag. That's what that is. Elite punching bags. Hey, I'll fight on the ground. All right. Good luck with that.
That's the last place I want to be.
Let's not get into that. I don't want to be insulting people.
All right.
Calm down, Tim Kennedy.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Riled up over this shit.
These things happen.
Mainstream fucking gladiators.
I get it. Gladiators. Modern. Not like that dude with the cleft palate that made that movie.
Wait, which one? Oh, he's a great actor. You don't really? Wait, let's go over this. I want to know. Tell me. Look. I think we're talking about the same one.
Yeah,
but go ahead,
there's only a couple movies that I liked that he did.
Which ones were they?
One of the last one is You Were Never Really Here.
Okay. Is that the one where he's the bum grabbing a girl out of trafficking?
Yes.
Okay. Trafficking's big right now.
That's a good one.
Or big on awareness right now.
Yes, big on awareness.
Here's what's really funny. There's two cycles for this, and I don't want to get away from cleft palates and aliens and Tom, but you ever sit in the moment and sit here and go, man, well, this is what I do all the time. So when Trump was fucking president and people were going crazy about him, and they were like, blah, 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 he's a fucking asshole. I'm wondering constantly in my head, will Trump be the next Nixon? Like, is that how he's going to be looked at? Like this douchebag who was a great president, but also was the biggest dick because he had Twitter? And my point is I try to wonder the relations of what we view versus what they'll be viewed as in the future, right? Because when we were growing up, all you heard was how great JFK was.
Right.
But then you hear all he was doing was fucking Maryland.
And other people.
And I didn't even hear about the other people because Maryland was so famous.
Right.
So
you hear about how he was sneaking through the sewer systems in New York without a security detail to meet up with broads and hotels. Oh, yeah. You didn't hear about all that stuff? Oh, yeah.
I also heard my guy had a bad back because he was sick.
He did have a bad back. Yeah, I think it was from injuries that he sustained in like World War II.
I heard he had fucking scoliosis.
Oh, he might have
had
that
crazy.
Too. He might have had that too.
I don't know if that's right. I'm not very good at the medical stuff, as we all know. But so see, that's what I'm saying. So Bill Clinton later is going to be a legend for the blowy and for being a good president. And again, I don't follow this stuff, but that's what I hear from people. Oh, Bill Clinton was a great president.
But here's the thing: people forget about all the good that Nixon did.
See, and that's exactly my point.
And what all they remember is Watergate, right?
So
they don't forget.
So Trump's going to be the Twitter king. That's all I'm saying.
Probably.
I mean, he did that.
Yeah, he
to
did
himself.
That. Yes, he did, without question.
Mr. President, Mr. Ex-President, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
So, no hard feelings.
But he was also a great troll.
No, yeah, he is.
He did troll a ton of people using Twitter, which is not presidential by any means. You gotta
wonder if he even knew what he was doing, or he just hired some schmuck to do it.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
All right, see, I lost my thought here because we were on Vinny for a minute, and we were on... No. But fuck, what a mess. I'm getting, like, flashbacks of just terrible things now. Now I'm upset. I can't even fucking... So Biden will be like... So Biden will be the president that let aliens out. That's all I'm saying.
No.
No?
I don't think it'll be him.
Really? Would it be Trump?
No, I think Trump started to.
Oh, okay.
And then they backed up. But in the documentary, they also said that Bush Sr. was going to come out with disclosure.
Really?
And that got shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard the Bushes are nice. I also heard they're psychos.
I don't know.
I've never met them.
I did.
What?
I met Bush Sr.
What?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I totally met Bush Sr. as a kid.
As a kid?
As a kid.
Would you shake his hand at a parade?
No, so long story short, the Bush family used to have a summer home in Kennebunkport, Maine, on a spit of land called Walker's Point.
Okay.
In this small New England fishing village, they had a hotel. It looks like a giant White House, right? And on Sundays, they would do this huge brunch.
Okay.
Okay. Every Sunday, they do a brunch for the public, right? And so I was up there as a little kid with my dad and my mom, and we had a silver Chrysler Cordoba, which was like a giant land submarine of a car. It was a big two-door car, massive car, right? And we pull into the parking lot because we're going to go to brunch. It was me and my dad. I think my mom was staying back because she didn't feel good. And all of a sudden, my dad starts screaming in the car, "Oh my God, there's the president."
What?
Turns out President Bush Sr., or maybe he was the vice president at the time, I can't remember, was walking out of this hotel with his security detail because he was at his summer home.
Jesus.
And my dad jumps out of the car. He's like, "Mr. Bush, Mr. Bush, Mr. Bush." And he runs right up on the security detail.
Your old man did?
My old man did.
Yeah, your old man was a baller. We'll talk about that later, but...
Yes. And Secret Service freaks out, of course, and they're all reaching for their guns because they think he's some lunatic. And he's like, "I want you to meet my son. I want you to meet my son. Please come over to the car and meet my son." Now, I'm terrified. I'm in the car, right? Because I see the security detail getting a little crazy, right?
Right.
So I roll up all the windows and I lock the door on the car.
What the fuck?
And Mr. Bush Sr. comes over to the car, knocks on the window. He's like, hey, roll down the window. I want to shake your hand, son. Come on, roll down the window. And I was shaking my head because I was totally freaked out. It took like 5 minutes. And eventually I got out of the car and I got to meet Bush Sr. and shake his hand.
It was probably 10 seconds, but your endorphins were surging through your body.
So you're like, so freaked
seems
out.
Like an eternity. Did you know who it was?
No, I had no idea who it was at the time. But he was really nice, and he had that accent. Hey, roll down the window. I just want to talk to you. Shake your hand. Yeah, it was.
That's wild.
It was pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing that I can look back and say I met a former president in person and shook his hand, not at a parade, not at an event,
Just randomly chilling.
Just randomly chilling after he got done eating brunch.
You know, there's an entire conspiracy theory just in this story. I'm not going to bring it up because it's not time, Joe Skelly.
Okay.
It's not time.
Fair enough.
But I do love it, and we are going to get to it. So we're going to shout out to Vin. We're going to shout out to Johnny Weir. I almost said the wrong fucking name. Shout out to all them boys at NASA trying to get their shit done. This is Bay's Boys, 97 seconds
and
of
Tom
information. Tom DeLonge, yeah. He's a great drummer. We're not going to get distracted, but send us an email if you know anything about aliens.